Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the inaugural Doom and Stone Awards, presented by Revolver in association with the Doom Charts. Here are your hosts for this 2021 virtual event: John Gift of Vegas Rock Revolution, Billy Goate of Doom and Stone, and Blasko of Volume Forever. Gentlemen, take it away.
Welcome back. So the first time that I was chatting with you guys as Doomed and Stoned podcast, we had this idea. Billy had this idea. He's like, yeah, one of these days there'll be the Doomed and Stoned Awards, and a light bulb goes off and I go, I can help you do that. And here we are.
Absolutely. Man, it had been in my mind for so long. And I'm just one of those people that I've got all these ideas, but I just don't have the bandwidth to make it happen. And in this case, it just required a lot more in terms of connections, in terms of influence. And we just had that magical moment on the Doom and Stone podcast when we talked about it. And then Blasko just went running with it enthusiastically and gave it the nickname the Doomies. So can't thank you enough for that. That was awesome. And it just came together so well, but it also came together pretty freaking fast. So if we do this again next year, I'm sure we'll have a little bit more ramp up time. But considering how fast it came together, man, I got to give everybody kudos who was involved in this. You did a really great job in helping to spread the word and make it a thing.
I'm personally just super excited and think it's an awesome thing for the community. We have so much amazing music in the doomed stoner, heavy psych, sludge, all these great underground heaviness. It's great to kind of just bring it together and really highlight these amazing bands and artists along the way, and of course labels. It's just really something that's well deserved. We know we have to scratch and claw for everything in metal and hard rock, right? Everything. So having our own awards and really caring about who, how it's done and involved. It's a big salute to both of you for the vision and for nailing it. And thank you for having me.
Hell yeah. So Billy, let's talk about the awards themselves. You and I went back and forth. We whittled it down to these eight categories, and then tell us all a little bit about how we came to picking the nominees.
Yeah, so the nominees were selected by members of the Doom Charts and the Doomed and Stone team. And basically what we did is we submitted our top five or our top recommendation for each of the eight categories. So we each had one recommendation that we emailed to each other. Well, not even to each other. We each had one recommendation that we submitted, and then that was filtered through, and we came to a consensus on the top five based on how popular the submissions were, basically. So, yeah, rambling way of saying it. But,
yeah, I'm not really sure, Billy. No, I'm joking.
Yeah,
we can go in our usual bit here, but no. But
yeah, no, I mean, so basically it was just a matter of consensus. Each of us picked our favorite for 2020 in each of the eight categories, and the top five in each of those categories became the nominees.
Yep.
Right. And that felt productive. It felt like we got a good response. There was a very positive response. Everybody kind of jumped on board real quick, considering that we dropped this on their lap with no pre-warning whatsoever. And I'll tell you guys, we got a total vote of 29,057 was our total amount of votes. And that is far beyond what I was expecting. I had no idea what to expect, but that exceeds my personal expectation. So I'm very happy for everyone that kind of jumped on board last minute and pulled it together and voted. And And so here we are. Let's roll into the first category.
Hell yeah.
Best label presented by the Doom Charts and doomedandstoned.com. Here are our 5 nominees: Ripple Music, Heavy Psych Sounds, Magnetic Eye Records, Majestic Mountain Records, and APF Records. What do you guys think about that?
Man, just a dynamic roster. I think every one of those labels just killed it in 2020 in terms of giving us a diverse and challenging lineup of exciting new music and bringing back some old favorites as well. So, like, there was good, obvious possibility for each of these labels to end up the top pick.
Yeah, John, what about you?
Yeah, anyone who listens to our show even somewhat knows that I think the big 1-2 punch of our side of the world is Ripple Music and Heavy Psych Sounds. They're just consistently putting out a pretty darn good volume of music, but done it at a high level. But when you look below those 2 big boys, these 3 all had very impressive years, to say the least. And we played so many of these songs on the Doomed and Stone show, and these labels all just, it won't surprise me if any of them could win. So
yeah,
I have my odds on favorite, but we'll have to see because I don't actually know.
Let's get to the winner. And the winner of the best label on the Doomies 2021 is Heavy Psych Sounds.
Oh, nice.
One of those top 2.
Hell yeah.
All the labels did put in a lot of effort, and all the bands supported their labels, so it was a really good thing to see. And congrats to Heavy Psych Sounds.
Yeah, man.
What an amazing year for them. I mean,
Yeah,
Billy,
man, totally.
right off the bat, you could probably name 2 or 3 of their albums that just killed it this year.
Well, they've had Acid Mammoth. That was a huge win for them.
I know you were going to say that.
Yeah, but really, they started the Doom sessions, and they're up to volume 666 now, I think, which is just an amazing concept in and of itself. They brought the band Sonic Flower to our attention, which is a side project of Church of Misery members. They signed Bongzilla, and that's just recent stuff. But last year, killed it, bringing back the discography from Dozier, as they look to release a new record soon. Brant Bjork, have a great relationship with Brant.
Beat me to that. Brant's album was, for me, a top 5 album last year of pure lovely rock and roll. So, Heavy Psych, big year. But all these labels killed it. I mean, certainly Ripple put out 20-something spectacular albums last year. So, along the way. So, there's our first award, Blasko. Mr. Blasko, excuse
me. Without a doubt. All right, guys, let's get on to the second category. Best New Band, presented by Dunnable Guitars. Our buddy Sasha over at Dunable Guitars. Here we go. Here are the 5 nominees: Slamosa, Bog Wife, Sun Crow, The Crooked Whispers, and Big Oaf. What are you guys thinking?
A lot of surprises here. A lot of new names that many of our listeners and viewers will not have noticed before. But right. Both of these, all these 5 in their own way made a very impressive mark for being new bands and being hardly known, and pretty much their recognition coming virally through individual blogs and the Doom charts and sharing around. And so just the fact that some of these names are on here speaks a great deal to the quality of their product.
5 dynamic bands that are extremely different from each other for the most part. Early on in the year, I latched on early to a couple of these bands with Slamosa and Sun Crow, or just big impact players, particularly in the stoner rock world, but all of these things. Heck, we played Bogwife and so on. This is again one of these ones where we're like, I wonder who's going to pull this off.
Well, I'm about to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the best new band is Slow Mosa.
Nice. Good for them. Yeah, that's
Very
awesome.
good.
Yeah, that one
Very
got
cool.
a lot
Congrats,
of
dudes.
So good.
Yeah, those guys out of Norway, a 4-piece band, and their self-titled debut was just absolutely great. So good for them. And if anybody hasn't checked it out, this is some very good stoner rock.
Good, accessible, semi-melodic at times, stoner rock for sure. And people are all over the place digging it. So cool stuff.
All right, guys, let's move on to the next category. The best debut album presented by the Hard Times News. Here are 5 categories. Cryptograph with their self-titled, Sun Crow with Quest for Oblivion, Hail the Void with their self-titled, Slow Mosa and their self-titled, and Zach Sabbath, Vertigo. What do you guys think?
What a collection here. I mean, Sun Crow just coming in late in the year and getting so much enthusiasm and love from the fans out of Seattle and beyond. We already talked about Slamosa and how great they are. Cryptograph, a brand new name for a lot of people, but big punch with that one. Hail the Void, I think also just fantastic. And then what can you say? Zach Sabbath is a true original, and I mean, you can't go wrong with Zach Wild.
We're a true original, unoriginal.
Yeah, that's the tricky part there. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, these are five great albums. I have them all in rotation. Cryptograph, I would say probably top 5 song of the year for me from them. So just and then Hell the Void even with just humongously powerful stuff, and hell, they're big enough to get signed by someone I know.
Yep.
Yeah. Pretty darn good band right there.
Here we go, fellas.
All right.
The winner of the best debut album is Hail the Void with their self-titled album.
Nice
Congrats,
job, guys.
dudes.
All right.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
From Canada.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, those guys from Victoria, they really made a big impression on us. Everybody's got a favorite on there, but I think the consensus is that the song Twisted Pleasure is, well, and some people say Parasite, but Twisted
Parasite
Pleasure
for me. But yeah.
is a great
Parasite,
one.
big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great album.
Yeah.
Great album.
Yeah. Well,
Good stuff.
I mean, I just signed them to Ripple Music.
Well,
So all I can say to the guys is no pressure, but we're all counting on you.
hell yeah.
Oh, hi. I'm Bill Conway, Editor-in-Chief of The Hard Times. I'm here with my dog Murphy to tell you about something very important. Vinyl. Dr. Anthony Fauci says that the best way to stay safe during coronavirus is to buy limited edition vinyl, and I have just the place for you to do that. shop.thehardtimes.net/collections/vinyl. Where the fuck do you think you're going? We are doing a commercial. Oh my God. Head to shop.thehardtimes.net/collections/vinyl right now to get limited edition vinyl you will not find anywhere else. It's the best thing you can do to keep you, your family, and everyone you love healthy during this pandemic. Go now.
Awesome.
good stuff.
Cool. Well, let's move on to the next category. This is a fun one. Best album art presented by our friends at Pirates Press. So here we go. Here's the 5 nominees for best album art. King Buffalo and their artist Ryan T. Hancock for the album Dead Star. Cyclona, the artist Kyrie, I don't know how to pronounce it. You guys, Kyrie Bjuring, with their album Venus Skytrip. Sky Pig with the artist Droned Artworks, and for the album Hell Is Inside You. Acid Mammoth with their artist Branca Studio for Under Acid Hoof, and High Priestess, and their artist is Jill Colbert for the album Casting the Circle.
Yep.
Yes, there was a typo in that, and we apologize that we didn't catch it. Casting the Circle. So, guys, what do you think about this?
Love it, man. I tell you, this is an example of where when we, same thing holds true with the Doom charts each month. When we submit our favorites in there, there's no guarantee that our favorites are going to make it to the final cut of 25 best albums for the month. And in this case, my favorite album art of the year, just a lot of people didn't know about it. It's a band out of Belgium called March Funebre. And so my favorite album art didn't make it to the 5 nominees, but the ones that did make it were outstanding.
Agreed.
All killer stuff right there. And great albums.
Oh, yes.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. So let's check it out. The winner of the Best Album Art category is King Buffalo, Ryan T. Hancock with Dead Star. Congrats, dudes.
Hell yeah.
Nice one right there.
Yeah, yeah.
I do love that album cover.
Yeah. Ryan did a fantastic job with that one.
Absolutely.
I mean, it just says a lot about the not only the vastness of space, but the deadness of space. So it captures a lot just in the meaning of the symbolism there.
King Buffalo is just such a concrete foundation of our scene at this point in time. It has to be recognized as one of the premier bands. 3 albums coming up here in 2021. The band has done it the old-fashioned way and worked hard and just been out there, and they evolve their sound as they go, and they're seriously one of the all-star bands of what's going on in today's scene.
Agreed. All right, let's move on. Category is Best Cover Song presented by Does It Doom. The 5 nominees are Hippie Death Cult and their version of Black Sabbath's Fairies Wear Boots, Howling Giant and their version of Alice in Chains' Rooster, Chemists and their version of Dio's Rainbow in the Dark, Moss Generator and their version of Queen's Son and Daughter, and finally Clutch with their version of CCR's Fortunate Son. What do you guys think?
Man, I love Howling Giant's Rooster. I didn't think that song could ever be covered, so I'm very biased here. I think that one should totally be number 1.
And you love cover songs.
I love cover songs that are well interpreted and sometimes reinterpreted entirely. And I thought this one paid tremendous respect. They all did paid tremendous respect to the original while adding a unique flavor that could readily be identified with that band.
Yeah, they're we'll just leave it at that. That's definitely a song I think is a high contender here, but all these songs are just so cool in their own way. And I'm interested to see what the public says.
Well, John, the public has spoken, and the winner of the Best Cover Song is Clutch with Fortunate Son.
Ooh, the Clutch Maniacs come out and vote.
They
CCR.
did.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Very cool. Such a rocking one.
That's a great song, and it's great to hear Neil Fallon's voice added to that in terms of the many covers that have been done. I mean, he just so recognizable, but also adds something just incredibly powerful and moving to everything that he contributes to.
Without a doubt.
One of my favorite CCR songs right there. Just a great one.
And, one thing about this category is, man, there's a lot of cover songs. I mean, even whenever you consider all the Magnetic Eye Redux records, right. It's like they're like this genre does not mess around with cover songs. It's like, and they do amazing jobs. This was a tough category to narrow it down. So congrats to everybody. Yep. Cool. Well, let's move on to the best song category, presented by our friends in Brooklyn, the St. Vitus Bar. And the 5 nominees for this category are Lowrider with Red River, Dope Lord with World Beneath Us, Elephant Tree with Bird, Witch Skull with Baphomet's Child, and last, Cyclona with Blast Off. What do you guys think?
Smoking.
Yeah, I played these on Doomed and Stone Choice Cuts recently, along with the best cover songs, and just back to back had a chance to listen to them many times. And I had my mind made up about my favorite, but then the more I listened to all 5 together, the more I was convinced of just how strong the songwriting is across the board.
Agreed, man.
All 5.
Agreed. So this was a tough one. Came down to the wire, but the winner for the best song is Dope Lord, World Beneath Us.
Yes.
How about that?
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that song, I think, just spoke so much to all that happened in 2020 and just the desire to move above and beyond, the mangled mess that year was, full of fear and uncertainty, and it just kind of speaks to the times.
Agreed. What do you think, John?
Big song. Any one of them, I would have shook my head and been like, yep. So Dope Lord, I got acquainted with Dope Lord just this last year and thanks to Billy. And I'm like, whoa, yeah, what was I missing? So this band, it's just 5 killer songs. I mean, good God, Witch Skull's Baphomet's Child and Elephant Tree's Bird song got on the radio over there in the UK, I think, at some point, the actual radio. And then you throw in Lowrider's Red River, which me and Blasko talked about before, was just an epic song that just was right at the top the whole year, because Lowrider was a early submission in 2020.
Unbelievable riff, man. Like that was the riff of the, like, I think next time we have to do a riff of the best riff category.
Yeah. and then Cyclona starts us, they started off releasing that epic album of theirs, and with this song and this video and the build up to it, and the spaciousness, and all these songs were just so strong. There are so many great songs in our world. If we put out the 6 through 15, people would be blown away at those 2. But these 5 really are all-star songs that cover different elements within our scene. If you really think about it, Elephant Tree is very psych. Dope Lord is very doom with clean vocals. Witch Skull is stoner metal, I would say. Yep. Cyclona with stoner with the spacey side, and then traditional heavy rock stoner from Lowrider. I mean, it's a lot of different stuff going on there, man.
Without a doubt. All right. It's getting hot now. Let's move on to the best band category, presented by our good friends at Orange Amplification. Here are the 5 nominees: Lowrider, All Them Witches, Elephant Tree, Sun Crow, and King Buffalo. What do you guys think?
Loving all these choices, man. I'm really impressed to see Sun Crow on that list with all these very well established bands. Sun Crow is the newbies in the group. Elephant Tree is a newish name, but obviously have earned their chops by now. So, any one of these could have the potential to go number 1.
I mean,
without a doubt,
you're entering the picture 2 all-star bands, and that's King Buffalo and All the Witches, who have consistently put a large catalog of music in this last decade. And Lowrider making their return after years and years and years. It's just amazing. Elephant Tree, 3 albums deep now. This last one certainly it made a next level turn. And then the awesomeness of Sun Crow out of Seattle. These guys, such a strong edge to them, and first album ever, and they're on Best Band. That's awesome shit.
Without a doubt. Here we go. The winner of the best band category is All Them Witches.
All right.
Congrats, dudes.
Very cool.
Yeah, no surprise that they're very beloved in the scene. And I'll confess I was kind of late to the All Them Witches bandwagon, but once I saw them perform their set at Hellfest, it was just like all bets were off, man. I have total respect for their craft and what they do, and just I mean, I'm speechless. They're great. They're a great band.
Without
I was
a doubt.
late to the ball game with them too, and these guys rock. Their last few albums have really drawn me into going deeper in their catalog. But they've been around, big show players too, and the shows are good, and they got a crowd that comes. All Them Witches is really doing a big job, and they're just consistent. So congratulations, and we got a big black cat entering the picture. Wow.
God, Jackie.
So yeah, amazing.
Awesome.
Nice riff, man.
Thanks, man. It's one of my better ones. Have you seen me lately? I've been in magazines.
Yeah, I've been reading them, man.
Also, your amps are broken.
Dag. Somebody get me any jackass from Orange on the phone.
Orange amps. Okay, no problem. I'll have my best man on it in a jiffy.
Cool. All right, dudes. We are at the finish line. This is the best album category presented by our friends that keep us hydrated at Liquid Death Mountain Water. So thanks to them for that. Here are the 5 nominees for the best album category. Lowrider Refractions, Acid Mammoth Under Acid Hoof, Dope Lord, Sign of the Devil, Elephant Tree, Habits, and last Cyclona, Venus Sky Trip. What do you guys think?
Very good. I mean, I don't think I could definitely add more to the list of best albums. And in fact, all of us have our individual faves, but if you brought it down to just a handful, this is a very good handful to have. And by the way, Doom Stone's Sign of the Devil, Dope Lord's Sign of the Devil, by the way, was the #1 album of the year, editor's choice at doomandstone.com.
Interesting. It was a good one. What do you think, John?
Chock full of goodness right here. So it's I'm just kind of eyeballing and wondering who's going to be the winners really at this point. I got my guess. That's all I'm going to say. So let's see what we got.
The winner of the best album category is Lowrider Refractions.
All right.
Should come as not much of a surprise. That album was super kick-ass and it topped most of the charts.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
my friend Steve Howell from Outlaws of the Sun, we did a show in January, I want to say, or February, and we were kind of eyeballing the recent releases, and he said this is my album of the year way back then. And I thought that was a little bit foolhardy, but man, this one has just ended up dominating.
Yes.
It was on my charts early and stayed there throughout the year. It's the kind of album that has lasting power, which is an important part of this. I had my #1 was Witch Skull. I think it was an awesome album, but Lowrider was sitting there with it paired up along with the Elephant Tree for almost a whole year for me. I kind of do a visual on when I look at the top, and those 3 were there, and it's just, and then you add in a couple great doom bands right here with some good vocals with Acid Mammoth and Dope Lord, and it's just a hell of a year for good music, good and from the heavy underground.
La la
Sourced and bottled in majestic mountains, liquid Death Mountain water will murder your thirst.
Now I'll pour it with death.
Well, look, congrats to all of the bands, all of the nominees, all of the winners. It was good hanging out with you guys. We should do this again, but like in a real environment, you know, like a real show with bands playing, and like, you know, next year I have a feeling this thing is going to be a real show, not a virtual show. So I look forward to that.
Yep, great start to it, and I look forward to 2021's picks next year in 2022.
Yep.
Thanks to everyone who voted. And participated this year in the Doomies.
Yep, I got to give a few shout out and thanks to Branca Studio for designing the poster and artwork. Mr. Black Designs for doing some edits for the bands and on the artwork. Henry for designing the voting site. That was a bit of a thing, but we got it done and it worked awesome. Revolver, obviously, for hosting this. So that when I gave him a call and I was like, I got this idea, the Doomed and Stone Awards, and they're like, what are you talking about? And so I explained it to them, and they're like, oh yeah, that sounds great. We would love to be involved. So thanks, cool. Big thanks to them. My buddy Matt for editing this so it's watchable and not just three dudes rambling. Of course, I echo your sentiment. Everyone that voted, great. And then, of course, a big thanks to all of our sponsors for coming in and helping us promote this thing. Like I said, man, we got 30,000 votes, and that's insane. And so thanks to all of you for voting. Thanks, Billy and John, for helping me out and making this a thing that is a thing. So hell yeah, Doomed and Stone Awards 2021.
Love it,
guys.
Love it. Super cool. An honor to be here, and honor to be part of this unbelievable, great community that we have. And the music is shining bigger and brighter than ever and deserves even more. So big thanks to everyone that's involved, from Revolver down. And Mr. Blasko, I always appreciate you. Thanks, man.
Yeah,
cool.
Much love to you guys out there for following Doomed and Stone for the past 7 years and making this dream come true. And obviously, big thanks, huge gratitude to Mr. Rob Blasko for making the Doomies a reality in 2021.
Hey, dude, we got it done. We got it done. We're gonna lean on John for the actual event. Yeah,
nice.
Now we're gonna give him the responsibility.
Oh man, fascinating, intriguing.
Concert promoter guy.
All right, we'll talk game plan. Yeah, it sounds cool.
Totally. Well, cool. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for supporting. We love you all.